All right, guys, so last time we went through posture, we went through stance, we went through a basic hand placement for defense. Now I want to go through distance control, all right? Distance is all dependent on how you and your opponent engage with one another, okay? We're going to go over 3 separate distances. We're going to cover long distance, middle distance, and close distance or short range shots, okay? Your long distance shots. Now, last video we spoke about a real basic stance that we can hold for those of you guys who are new to boxing, but we're going to go a little bit beyond that now, okay? So what I want to cover with your long distance shots or with your long distance range attacks or defense, you can afford to have your feet a little bit wider, okay? You're not in a position where you're going to get caught with anything because you and your opponent aren't really arm's length from each other. It's going to require you to step forward or step back depending on where you are in space and time. So your feet can be a little bit wider, all right? Your movement between shots, instead of shifting back and forward, you can be a little bit more light-footed. You can be a little bit more on your toes with your shots, okay? Or with your posture or with your stance. Your punch position or your punch variety essentially is going to be really limited to long shots. I say limited for all purpose of this drill, but you're going to want to opt for longer punches. So your lead hand, your rear hand, long straights, okay? Long left hooks, long right hooks, peel offs, okay? They're all long shots. This posture and this stance is essentially compatible with those kind of shots because you're not going to be too off balance if you throw long straights or long left hooks. You can step out, you can use your hips, you can engage a little bit more at a longer distance with this stance. Middle distance. This is a posture or this is a position where you and your opponent can hit each other if you throw an arm out. I can hit my opponent with this, I can hit my opponent with that. We can hit each other without stepping, okay? Unlike long distance where we would have to step to engage or step to land a shot. Middle distance, you don't really need a step. You can hit each other at any point in time. With that, will require a little bit more suspension in the knees. So instead of this upright position in long distance, we want to sit down on our shots a little bit more, okay? Our feet are a little bit closer together. Our hands are up a lot more. Our shoulders are back and we're sitting down a lot more with our shots. Now, unlike long distance, we can get away with some uppercuts. We can get away with some close end hooks. We can get away with some short right hands even, all right? Our hooks are a little bit shorter because we can land a little bit closer. And we don't necessarily have to stay upright and we don't necessarily need to step in or move our feet as much. We can drift in, we can step in, we can bounce and move. Our close distance, however, is one that's it's going to require a little bit more suspension because I literally don't have to really work towards reaching out for my opponent. They're right there. All I need to think about is bringing my feet up a little bit closer, sitting back a lot more, so that when I throw, if I have to counter, I'm not in an unfavorable position where I'm off balance. My knees are helping with my suspension, which are going to help return any shot that I decide to throw. Here we can throw rips, hooks, overhands, uppercuts with a lot more proficiency. Now, with that, we tend to be reduced a lot more with our long straights because we're at that closer range. So take homes from this. When you're engaging with your bag or with your partner or with your floor to ceiling ball, whatever you decide to work on, it's important to adopt the stance that's suitable for the kind of punch you're throwing. If you're long distance, you can afford long straight, stepping in, bouncing on your toes a little bit more, having your hands a little bit lower as well. Because you're at a longer distance, you can reach them out a little bit more. Your middle stance, you're going to go from here, bringing them in, less bouncing, hands are up a lot higher, twisting, moving, throwing a little bit more variety that I can land with. Your close distance stuff, hands are up a lot higher, shoulders are relaxed, hips are back more, knees are bent, feet are closer, and I'm able to throw a lot harder shots without throwing myself off balance. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for the next one.